Great Britain will leave the EU internal market in less than 4 weeks. From then on, the island is on its own in terms of trade. But not only with the EU, there is still no new trade agreement for the time after that. Deals with the USA and China are also stalling. Britain's negotiators only have a few days left to reach an agreement with the EU. I'm filming this because it's a general video before the meeting of von der Leyen and Johnson, but I will publish it later. So that part might be overaged, but the general part and the most part of the video will not be. That's why I'm doing it this way. Then the EU heads of state and government want to decide on the result of the negotiations at their summit in Brussels. Much has been said and written about the squabbles at previous meetings, about the pros and cons of a Brexit without an agreement. What is disregarded is that Great Britain not only needs a new trade deal with the EU, because if the island is no longer a member of the EU internal market on January 1st, all agreements between the Union and other countries will no longer apply. But the UK is just as advanced on trade agreements with its other major trading partners as it is with the EU. There are no real agreements to date. A lot of money is at stake for Great Britain. Goods and services valued at 1.35 trillion euros passed the UK's borders in 2019. Globally, this is the fourth highest value after USA, China and Germany. As of January, every euro traded falls under the rules of the World Trade Organization, the WTO, so many love that much. That doesn't mean free trade, but tariffs, border controls and much more paperwork. To get around that, the UK needs new trade deals, preferably free trade agreements, but the way is quite rocky. This is the current status with the most important trading partners outside the EU. With a trade volume of around 202 billion euros last year, the USA is the UK's most important trading partner after the EU, with the EU it's 681 billion euros, and a lucrative one at that. Last year, the surplus for the island was 46.3 billion euros, that high like no other country. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson actually had an ally in the White House in Donald Trump. The US President made several benevolent comments on Brexit, calling it a wonderful, wonderful thing and promising a phenomenal trade deal. But, as so often, the words were not followed by actions. Negotiators from both states met 5 times before the US election, but there was not enough time. Trade contracts are detailed arrangements that require a lot of fine-tuning. For those that more known would say that would have been such an easy deal and such a beneficial one for the UK. Have a look at the negotiating papers from the US. They are online. They are real fun to read. Even if Trump had been re-elected, a contract would probably not have been signed until the end of 2021 at the earliest. But now that Joe Biden is soon to be sworn in as the new president, the signs are worse. Biden has Irish roots. He only wants to get a deal with London if there is no hard border between Ireland and Northern Ireland. That, in turn, depends on the negotiations with the EU, and things don't look very good there for permeable EU external border on the Green Island. At the moment we are at a place where the internal market bill was stripped of the parts that would force the EU to erect the border, and that would be forced by law, not because they want to, but some don't understand that one either. But in the next days we'll see if there is no deal. I have no doubts that Boris Johnson might quite quickly bring back these parts of the internal market bill and cause that trouble again, so we'll see. In addition, a trade deal with Great Britain is unlikely to be high on Biden's priority list. Domestically, the new president has to cope with the corona crisis. In terms of foreign policy, the trade war with China and relations with the EU should have priority. After that, there will probably be a reform of the WTO, and only after that, maybe, Great Britain. But Great Britain doesn't necessarily need a deal either. I don't think that's important, said Sherman Robinson, an analyst at Washington's Peterson Institute for International Economics, to the Deutsche Welle. If trade is based on WTO rules, this is not bad for both sides, if you didn't have something better before. Trade with the Far East amounted to around 75 billion euros last year, with Great Britain having its largest deficit here after trade with the EU at 25.4 billion euros. In terms of exports, China is by no means as important for the British as the other way around. However, British companies would welcome a trade agreement because it would open up the huge market in the billions for them. The way there is likely to be even more difficult than with the EU and the USA. The political climate between London and Beijing has become chilly over the past 2 years. Boris Johnson strongly criticized China's interference in the former British colony of Hong Kong and offered the Hong Kong Chinese British citizenship. He denounced China's human rights violations in its dealings with the Muslim Uyghurs and denied the network equipment provider Huawei access to the British 5G network. None of that goes down well in Beijing. And China's strong president Xi Jinping is known to like to mess with countries that rebel against his policies. Canada and Australia have felt this in recent years. The former wanted a free trade agreement that will not come now. The latter were banned from many exports to China after the Australian government also locked Huawei out. There are still no official negotiations on a trade agreement between Great Britain and China. This is made worse by the fact that the EU could sign a new agreement with China in December. EU corporations would have easier access to the billion-dollar market in the East. The British would look into the tube. The third largest trading partner outside the EU is Switzerland, with a volume of around 34 billion euros last year. There is good news here. Both countries signed a continuity agreement in February 2019 in which they agreed that all previous trade rules would continue to run in the same way after Brexit. Since the EU has a free trade agreement with Switzerland, this also means free trade between the Great Britain and our neighbor, Switzerland. But I made a video about this deal with Switzerland recently and the problems why a lot of things are not clear there or had to fall away from being continued. So have a look in the playlist, the video is there. The same deal, albeit only on a provisional basis, has also been concluded with Norway, which, like Switzerland, is part of the EU economic zone. The UK signed the only major new trade agreement with Japan in October. And because some are still waiting for this, there's so much current stuff going on at the moment, Japan can wait. I will make the Japan video, but I want to make it properly and with still 20 pages of notes. I will not rush things. I want to give you a proper look on that thing, so it will take time. I don't see it coming this year, but that will have consequences in January, February as well, so it doesn't matter. It will come, but when I have enough time to do this and to do it properly. And as you can see at the moment, a lot is going on around Brexit. The UK, as I said, signed this agreement with Japan in October. And with a volume of 30.7 billion euros, the Far Eastern country is the fourth largest British trading partner outside the EU. And just to give you a hint of this, but the deal, which is a copy and paste of the EU deal with some changes, and because of the changes, if I were Japan, I would have signed that thing too. And if you now want to stay informed, and when the time comes, know what I say about the Japan deal, please subscribe to my channel, and please subscribe to my 2 new channels as well. I'll see you in my next video. Viel Spaß!